She remembered everything. They remembered Meera Sharma as the woman who cried quietly. She cried when her marriage broke without warning. She cried when doors closed politely in her face. She cried when people told her, "Be patient, be forgiving, move on." What they never noticed was that Meera also remembered everything. She remembered every insult wrapped in kindness, every accusation disguised as concern, every silence that chose comfort over truth. And one day, those memories became her power. Meera was married at 23 into a family that valued reputation above humanity. The Varma family was respected, wealthy, and deeply influential. On the surface, they were warm and welcoming. Inside the house, love was conditional, and obedience was praised more than honesty. Her husband, Raghav Varma, was admired by everyone. Calm, intelligent, charming. People trusted him instantly. Meera trusted him too, until she learned that charm could coexist with cruelty. Raghav did not shout, he did not hit, he simply erased her. Her opinions were too emotional, her achievements were unnecessary, her discomfort was overreaction. When his mother criticized her cooking, Raghav stayed silent. When relatives mocked her upbringing, he laughed politely. When lies were spread about her character, he said nothing. Silence, Meera learned, can be a weapon. The breaking point came when money disappeared from a joint account. Meera had nothing to do with it. She tried to explain. She begged them to check records, to look deeper. But the truth was inconvenience. Blaming her was easier. The family decided quickly. Meera was labeled irresponsible, disloyal, dangerous. Within months, she was divorced and sent back to her parents' home with a suitcase and a stain on her name. No investigation, no apology, no regret. Society was kinder to the man who abandoned her than to the woman who was betrayed. For a long time, Meera believed she was broken. She avoided mirrors, she avoided conversations, she avoided dreams. Nights were the worst, filled with replayed conversations and unanswered questions. But pain, when left alone long enough, begins to change shape. One evening, while sorting old documents, Meera found her university certificates, gold medals, recommendation letters, proof that she had once been confident, capable, brilliant. She held those papers and cried, not out of sadness, but anger. They didn't destroy me, she realized. I allowed them to convince me I was nothing. That was the day Meera stopped asking for closure. She started building leverage. Meera enrolled in advanced finance and data analysis courses. She took jobs beneath her qualifications, absorbing knowledge quietly. She listened more than she spoke. She learned how companies hide mistakes, how reputations are manufactured, how trust is exploited. Years passed. The Varma Group expanded aggressively. New ventures, new loans, new praise in business magazines. Raghav became a public figure, invited to speak on ethics and leadership. Meera watched from a distance. She didn't hate him, she studied him. When she was ready, she started her own consulting firm, small at first, then stronger. She became known for her accuracy and refusal to manipulate data. Companies feared her audits and respected them. Eventually, fate aligned perfectly. A regulatory body hired Meera's firm to review financial irregularities in a major corporation. The name on the file made her pause. She accepted the assignment without hesitation. The first meeting was unforgettable. Raghav entered the conference room confidently until he saw her. For a brief second, his face cracked. "Meera," he said softly. She nodded politely. "Mr. Varma, I'll be leading this audit." There was no anger in her voice, no accusation, just professionalism. Over weeks, Meera uncovered patterns others had ignored: fake losses, shell accounts, manipulated timelines. The same tricks once used to destroy her reputation were deeply embedded in their empire. She documented everything. She followed every legal step. She didn't leak information. She didn't warn anyone. She let truth do its work. When the investigation report was submitted, it triggered a chain reaction. Banks froze accounts, investors panicked, media attention exploded. The Varma Group collapsed publicly. Raghav's interviews became desperate. His confidence vanished. The family that once judged Meera without evidence now begged for time. And finally, Raghav requested to meet her privately. He looked smaller than she remembered. "You planned this," he said bitterly. Meera met his eyes calmly. "No, I prepared for it." "You could have saved us," he insisted. "You knew." She leaned forward slightly. "Do you remember when I asked you to listen to me?" He said nothing. "You taught me something valuable, that truth doesn't need defenders, it needs opportunity." There was no triumph in her voice, only finality. Meera stood up and walked away, not as revenge, but as release. After the scandal, Meera cleared her name publicly. She rebuilt her life privately. She supported women whose voices were silenced by power and tradition. She never spoke badly about her ex-husband. She didn't need to. Her life became the answer. Years later, when asked in an interview what revenge meant to her, Meera replied, "Revenge is not about hurting those who hurt you. It's about becoming so strong that their harm becomes irrelevant." And for the first time, she meant it.